Hey there, meteorologist Jackson Chastain, KTVN 2 News, Nevada. A bit colder today. Our high in Reno was actually about 46 degrees. We're sitting now at 38. The dew point about 11. So that colder air has filtered in. The drier air along with it has filtered in, and that will play a factor into our overnight lows. As for winds, though, down to about 5 miles per hour. We saw some gusts earlier in the day. Not so much anymore, and we'll kind of stick with the calmer winds heading into the start of this week and the start of the coming work week. The dew points tonight, that's going to be something to think about because we've seen a lot of lows consistently in the mid-20s. With the magnitude of this drier air, I think there's a much better shot that some of us actually dip into the teens as we step out the door on Sunday. So by 6 a.m., around 20 degrees would not be surprised for us in the Reno area, and especially in the Truckee Meadows, the Carson Valley, those places to get into maybe the 17, 18, 19 degree range. Just something to be mindful of. I think with the lack of wind, it won't be too big of a deal, but certainly will be chilly, and you will feel it. But heading into the next week, we're going to quickly get back to the status quo. By Sunday, actually in the afternoon, we should get to around 50 for the high. We're going to be stuck with the ridging for the most part, although there is one exception I want to point out to you guys. Precipitation, also not really a thing that we're going to have to talk about that much. Winds will remain generally calm, which will help us out. You can see in the upper levels here what I'm talking about in terms of that ridging all the way through Tuesday. You can see that kind of inverted U that's going to keep that higher pressure in place. But Wednesday morning, early Wednesday morning, that is something that is interesting and is, you can talk about it. The GFS shows it actually moving north of us. The Euro shows it kind of moving through our neck of the woods. So that disagreement will have to be ironed out in the next day or so. We'll kind of see where the models land with that. I think regardless of whether it hits us or not, the precipitation that's coming out of this low is not going to be super impactful. In fact, I think if we were to go with that Euro model, I think we're really pretty much going to get shadowed out, and the Sierra is going to take the brunt of that. Maybe, some very limited precipitation on the mountains with that snowfall, but that's not to last. It'll quickly move out, and then another ridge heading into the latter half of the work week. So in general, not anything that is groundbreaking. We kind of stick with what we've been used to, which is 50s highs, 20s lows. For the latest on the forecast, go to 2newsnevada.com. I'm meteorologist Jackson Chastain.